Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's LTC Mr. here, coming at you with another Absolute Markets video. And I'm not going to be talking about FX Master GOAT in this video. I just want to talk about the importance of having a unregulated broker, as well as the difference between unregulated broker versus a regulated broker, because there's a big argument or consensus going on that one is better than the other. So I'm just going to go over the straight facts between the two, so that way you can understand the reason why both of them are needed. All right, so before I do so, I'd like to say that I'm not a financial advisor. I do not advise anyone to invest or spend their money. All I do is show opportunities that I believe that could be beneficial to anyone around the world. So with that said, let's get into this video. Now, I'm going to use the United States for an example here, because I'm from the United States, been living here in Colombia for going on 6 years now. But and during the financial crisis back in 2007, 2008, there was a Dodd-Frank Act that was passed. So this right here, it did a Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. And what it ended up doing with the forex brokers in this example, which this is very, very detailed documents. It's a very long document of all the changes to have protections in place for the consumers in the United States and its territories. But in forex brokers case, the brokers are not able to have PAM accounts in the United States, nor are they able to trade with the higher leverage of like 1 to 50 or 1 to 100. I can't remember exactly which one it is. And so, for example, a broker that I actually have a MAM account with, which is slightly different from a PAM account, but that's a discussion for another time, is FX Winning. FX Winning was one of those brokers that was allowing that allows people to deposit the money and copy the trades of their strategies, whatever the case may be. And so they had to stop soliciting in the United States or accepting people from the United States because of the fact that they had something like a PAM account for people to be able to participate in. Now, the leverage was real low. It was 1 to 30 leverage. But because of that MAM account, which is similar to a PAM account, that's what prevented FX Winning to continue to accept people from the United States. All right. So when you look at unregulated brokers, this is why they exist. And a higher number now more than ever is because of limitations from these securities agencies and everything like that, like the SEC, the FCA, ASIC, and SISEC, and the list goes on. And I don't know how it is for the rest of the world, but I'm focusing on the United States, so that way you can get a clear understanding of what's going on between a regulated and a unregulated broker. So when you got those kind of limitations, people are looking for opportunities that they can actually trade on their own or put into a PAM account and also be able to earn at a higher leverage. So this is the reason why unregulated brokers exist. Now, regulated brokers are absolutely needed as well. So regulated brokers, they operate in certain jurisdictions. But just because a regulated broker is regulated doesn't mean that it's 100% safe neither. So now let's go right here. You got some of these unregulated brokers right here. You can see like ASIC, FSA, SISEC, probably like the SEC and everything like that as well. But here's the thing. A lot of people are like, well, you're protected with a regulated broker. It depends on where the regulated broker is able to operate in legally. So let's say, for instance, I'm in Colombia and I decide to create an account with IC Markets. So they're legally able to operate in ASIC jurisdictions, FSA, and SISEC. If something was to happen to this broker, I don't get any of those protections, just like an unregulated broker. And so that's the thing that people fail to mention when they talk about regulated brokers are the way to go. If you are operating with a regulated broker that's operating outside of your jurisdiction, you don't get any protections at all still. Okay? So, just throwing that out there so people can understand that as well, because that's something that people literally just skip all over. And they want to go direct to unregulated brokers, which unregulated brokers don't give you any protections if something was happened to that broker. We understand that. So when you're looking at these regulated and unregulated brokers, it depends on what kind of services you're looking for. Okay? and then you want to make a good decision. I'm not saying that you could trust. There's horrible regulated brokers out there. There's horrible unregulated brokers as well. So you need to do your due diligence before you make a decision to join anything, and invest your hard-earned money into anything. Okay. So now here's the thing that a lot of people will also point to by Absolute Markets. It's in the St. Vincent and Grenadines, which has, the opportunity for unregulated brokers to operate without being like regulated. Okay. So the SVG FSA is now requiring all brokers to provide their licenses and everything like that to be able to operate as a broker in the St. Vincent and Grenadines. And so Absolute Markets has done that. I have someone that like to come on my videos a lot and just like to be negative all the time, call everything a Ponzi, a scam, and they're just trying to say that Absolute Markets should have provided a license since day one. Well, here it is right here. They provided it since day one. That's October the 6th of 2021. And so Absolute Markets became who they are. They bought the domain name absolutemarkets.com back in November of 2021. Okay, so the very next month they bought the domain name for absolutemarkets.com, and then by May, I believe, of the following year is when they started accepting these different copy trading strategies and allowing people to use Absolute Markets to copy the strategies of these traders. So now you're looking at that, and you see that they've been through the process of providing the documentation, because starting on March 11th, the SBG FSA is going to start sanctioning those brokers who has not done this, have not provided their licenses to operate as a broker in the St. Vincent and Grenadines. And Absolute Markets has done that since day one. All right. And so the thing about Absolute Markets as well that people enjoy is the customer support. So you can come right here and talk and chat, or you can send an email as well, and they're very quick to respond, very responsive support. And another thing that Absolute Markets allows you to do, you're able to trade with a higher leverage if you want to. If you want to come over here, create your own account and trade by yourself, you can do so, or you copy the trades of like FX Master Gold. Okay, but you can get a leverage up to 1 to 1,000 over here with Absolute Markets. That's something that you're not going to be able to find with a regulated broker in the United States. And that's what attracts people to unregulated brokers, because they're able to trade with a higher leverage or copy the trades of the experts, the professionals at a higher leverage. Not saying that you're going to be able to win, because I was just in with another PAM account with LQDFS, which is another unregulated broker out of St. Vincent and Grenadines. I ended up losing 80% of my trading balance. Because the bot didn't perform well. So it happens. There's no guarantees in anything we do with investments online, whether it's regulated brokers or unregulated brokers. But if you feel comfortable enough to be able to put your money into a regulated broker, unregulated broker, and then just hope for the best, hey, go for it. That's all we're doing. Nobody has a crystal ball to see what's going to happen in the future. Everything's a risk. Okay. So I just wanted to do that quick explanation, pretty much, of the difference between unregulated broker and regulated brokers, and why both of them are needed still. Okay, and because I know people are still trying to say that one is better than the other and everything like that. And I know me personally, I've never had an issue with an unregulated broker. And although I've heard the horror stories and everything like that of unregulated brokers just running away with everybody's money and everything like that, there's one that's actually in a lawsuit right now, and they was operating out of St. Vincent and Grenadines as well. Many of you probably heard it, but it's Trader's Domain. They're facing a huge lawsuit right now, where people can't even get their money out. I've heard people saying they got $50,000 up in that broker and they can't get it out. It happens, and that's unfortunate, man. We just hoping that they won't happen to us when we get involved with unregulated brokers or regulated brokers in that case. Okay. Because, like I said, if you decide to invest with a regulated broker that's operating outside of your jurisdiction, you don't get any of those protections that regulated brokers will provide to people that's operating or investing with those regulated brokers and within the right jurisdictions. Okay, so just want to make that known. And that right there wraps up what I want to talk about absolute markets in this edition. Absolute markets this time, without FS Master Gold. And so if you like what you heard and saw, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to share this video with other people. If you're interested in joining Absolute Markets with FX Master Gold, I have my links down in the description of this video as well as in the comment section. If you heard of Absolute Markets and FX Master Gold for someone else, please get back with that person. Use their referral link, create your account, and start generating passive income and show us how to do the same thing. So that's all to say for right now. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time in this video. Take care, everyone.